Well, hello everybody. I'm in the local wood again, and it's the day after the massive storm blew through yesterday. Storm Eunice, certainly the strongest storm I can remember in a good 30 years, certainly in this part of the UK. I live in the central south part of the UK, in North Hampshire, and Eunice blew through during the day yesterday, and my word, were the winds strong. I think I was right in saying there was a gust of 122 miles per hour recorded on the Isle of Wight, which is not that far away, which is the strongest gust I think ever recorded in southern Britain. So it's pretty devastating, as you can see. It's brought quite a few trees down in the local wood, which is sad. A lot of it is ash, which has got ash dieback and is pretty vulnerable. As you can see, I've got Sky with me again this morning. So I thought I would come down, survey the scene. I did come around last night, after dark, after the winds had dropped, and I could see how bad it potentially was, but I wasn't really expecting to see so much devastation this morning, and I'll show you some of that in a minute. But it does provide a few opportunities, and it allows you to see things that perhaps you wouldn't ordinarily see with the trees that have been blown down. In particular, there's lots of sort of nice mosses and lichens on the sort of higher branches, which obviously are now on the ground. So I thought I'd bring the macro lens and just see if I could take a few artistic shots of the sort of mosses and lichens, or see if I could find any pretty patterns. Because as I said, I've got Sky again this morning, so chasing birds or whatever. You can see it's cloudy and yucky, so bird photography really isn't an option for me today. So I just thought I'd come down and see what I could find. So let's have a look and see if we can get some pictures. Now, here's a little top tip for all you bird photographers out there who, like me, like taking pictures of birds in their gardens or in areas where they're pretty accessible. After windy days, it certainly was windy, you get a lot of this stuff blown down, and look at the mosses and lichens on that. Come down and just collect a few of these perches. Can you imagine a nice, blue tit or a goldfinch, or I've got 3 bullfinches coming into the garden at the moment, which I'm hoping to photograph, so I'm going to collect some of these, and hopefully they'll come and sit on those beautifully for their portrait. But now's a really good time to collect some of these, and they'll last for a while, so collect a few while you can. So that's a top tip. Well, hello everybody, and as you can see, I'm back on a different day. It's bright and sunny, and it's been rather cold, and we haven't had many of these days since I filmed that first clip. And in fact, that session got cut very short, because not long after I'd filmed that, the heavens opened, and it rained for the rest of the day, and then we had a whole load of high winds, which didn't make coming into the wood very sensible. So I'm filming this over a week later, but I did manage one decent shot before it started raining, and it was actually quite a different shot for me. It was a detail shot of lichen on an old ash tree which had come down in the wind. It was a real old warrior, a real shame actually that it didn't survive. But for me it was a bit. Sorry, I've got Sky with me, as you can see. Good girl. But it was a real old warrior, but it's the sort of thing that you don't see very often, those things being high up in the tree canopy. So those sort of devastating winds and devastating events, perhaps provide us with opportunities as photographers that sometimes we don't get. Sorry, the wind's blowing quite a bit, so if the camera's wobbling, it's apologies. But it gave me the opportunity to do something a little different, and actually I used a technique that I don't use very often, and I've started experimenting with a bit, and that's focus stacking. So this the image that I'll show at the end is a result of 6 frames which I focus stacked in Photoshop, just because I wanted everything in focus, and that's unusual for me. Normally I like, as you will have seen from my photography, I quite like a lot of out of focus elements, because I think that gives it a real artistic feel, but this is artistic in a different way, and I think it's always good to experiment, and just try things that you don't ordinarily do. So I think it's a good example of that, so I'll put that on at the end. As ever, if you did like the video, then please think about subscribing to the channel. Give us a thumbs up. Hit the bell icon, which will give you notifications of new videos, and do leave any comments below, because I really like to to see what you think about the images, and the videos themselves, and if you've got any suggestions as to what you might like to see in future videos, then do get in touch. But so I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again next time.